Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome, everybody. How are you doing over there? I hear boom. You good? Okay. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. We are so happy to have everyone here on this beautiful Shabbat morning. And so what we want to do first is invite you to turn off your cell phones. Make sure that they're, okay, if you're a doctor, you can go ahead and keep it in silent though. But we want to disconnect in order so that we can truly connect with each other. And so we've got our professional photographers who are in the back. They will capture all of the moments because we want everybody to just be present. So, Evelyn, I like that idea. Let's all just take a nice, good breath. Yeah, that's what Shabbat's about, is opportunity to just go, breathe. So, allowing us to breathe and to be in this wonderful space, Cantor Reinwald, will you help us kind of warm ourselves up?
We join together in this melody, which is called a nigun. This is a melody that has no specific words, so we can focus on how the music makes us feel as we sing on the syllables yelalai, as we warm up our mind, body, spirit, and voice as we sing together with a smile. Please join in. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la
Shabbat morning, not only do we get to celebrate this wonderful gift that God gives to us, a day to be able to relax, to let go of all of the to-do lists, all of the things that are keeping us so busy. It's a time to just let go and be present with one another. It's also an opportunity to celebrate as a young man is becoming a bar mitzvah. Zach. Woohoo, hello friends, there you go. Okay, I'll give you that one opportunity right there to applaud because we're going to enter into worship services in a moment, and Zach is going to be leading us in our worship today. And you got this, don't worry, I promise. Zachary's totally got this. But throughout the service, especially like when he reads Torah, when he delivers his Devar Torah, his wonderful teaching of Torah, we don't applaud at the end of it because it's worship time, and so we might say something like Mazel Tov or Yasher Koach with great strength. That was awesome. But we especially also want to take a moment because we're all here together. our friends and family are here, but there are people who are not able to be present with us, yet hopefully you are streaming with us. Shabbat Sholom to everyone who is streaming into our services. We especially want to say hello. There's a number of people from the Shanfield family who are streaming in. We've got Bob, May, Ken, and Ron. You're in New York City. And Alice and Bob in Connecticut. And Ellen and Bob. We have a lot of Bobs. That was a good name then, I guess. You're in Florida. Hello in Florida. Joan is in Chicago. Tony and Ed and Bill and Leah, we know that you are in Houston, and we pray that you are doing okay and that your community continues to heal after Hurricane Harvey. It's going to be a long, long time, I know, but we are definitely sending our prayers to you. Shara in Thousand Oaks, we welcome you. Cindy Grossberg, hi. We are hoping that you are finding complete healing as well. And Fern and Ron, stuck in Mexico, huh? Really? Okay. All right, but we know that you wish you could be here, and so we're glad that you all can be with us virtually, along with everybody else who is streaming into our services today. We are happy that you are here with us and continue to enjoy Shabbat with us. So let's talk about how we're going to enjoy Shabbat, because you're all going to be participating throughout. First of all, you have your prayer books. They are right in front of you, or right underneath your seats right there in the front. It's important to have your prayer book. That way you know what's going on, and you can be able to join along and pay attention to the service and participate. We want you to participate in singing. Cantor Reinwald is going to lead us in wonderful song throughout. And so feel free. If you're not comfortable with the words, Lai works very well. So join along with that. But the prayer books, if you notice, so what do you notice about the prayer books? Have you ever been to a synagogue for services before? Who hasn't been to services before? Perfect. Welcome. What do you notice about this book that is different? It's backwards. Exactly. Usually it's like, hey, we open it from left to right, right? This one goes right to left because a lot of our service is with Hebrew, and Hebrew is read from right to left instead of left to right. So therefore, the prayer book opens the opposite way. Now, if you notice when you open up to any page in the prayer book, you'll see where the Hebrew is. There's two different columns. There is the column on the right-hand side, which has the Hebrew letters, but then the column on the left-hand side has the transliteration, meaning it's the Hebrew words using English letters. Because we recognize not everybody knows how to read Hebrew, and that's okay. We want the prayers to be accessible to everyone. And so we have the transliteration there. So if you want to, be sounding out or following along in the prayers, you can definitely do that. Right below the Hebrew, though, is the English translation for the prayer. On the opposite page will be some different alternative readings based on the same theme of that prayer. However, what's really cool, Zachary, may I borrow your prayer book, please? I'll give it back, I promise. I know, it'll be back, don't worry. So Zachary's prayer book is different. Number one, it's a lot thicker because this prayer book contains services not only for Shabbat, for today, but also for weekdays as well as festivals. So there's a lot more pages. It's a heavier prayer book. We like to say this is our weightlifting program for our 7th grade. And so, but also with his prayer book, you will see that he does not have any transliteration. Ooh. So Zachary's been studying Hebrew for a long time. So therefore, his special prayer book, as with all of our B'nai Mitzvah students, have this special prayer book, and it's also lovingly marked, so he can also direct us. Now, that means since his prayer book is thicker than ours, the page numbers are different. If you notice on the bottom of your pages, where the page numbers are, there are 2 sets of page numbers. One set in black, one set in blue. We're going to be following along when we call out page numbers today in blue, matches the color of his book. So that way, when you look down there, you'll notice that sometimes it'll skip pages or what have you. But just look for the blue page numbers, and then you will be on the same page that Zachary is. I told you I'd give it back. Right? Yay! We pray also with our bodies. There'll be times that we'll invite people to rise, and where we show our respect before God. And there'll be times where we bow in humble reverence before God as well. It's kind of allowing prayer to have this wonderful rhythm with our bodies. That we are not creatures who can stand perfectly still. There's movement, and we want to embrace that movement. Finally, we pray with what we wear. We have the kippah, the yarmulke. It's a head covering of reminding us that God is all around us. And finally, there is the talit, the prayer shawl. So we are commanded to wear fringes on the corners of our garments. These fringes are to remind us when we look at them of the 613 commandments that we find in the Torah. And so they are called tzitzit. Well, when a young woman, a young girl, becomes a bat mitzvah, she receives her first talit. And when a young man becomes a bar mitzvah, a son of the commandments, he receives his very first talit. It is my honor to call forward Zachary, if you'll come up to the bima, along with your grandfather, Zeph, to present you with your first talit.
Zachary, the talit is a very important symbol of the Jewish religion. It reminds you of the 613 mitzvot prescribed for the Jewish adult. We read in the Talmud, may you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds yet to come. May you trust in generations past and yet to be. As you begin to lead the congregation in prayer and the reading of Torah, we present you with this talit, the prayer shawl borne by service leaders throughout the long history of the Jewish people. We are so proud of you as you begin this sacred day and commence your life as a Jewish adult.
Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, eternal soul of the universe, who makes us holy through all of the commandments and commands us in wearing the fringes on the corners of our garment. Go ahead, Edie. Thank you. You may go back over to your seat for a few moments. You can come back anytime. As we get to give thanks for all of our blessings of this beautiful moment and this beautiful morning, we turn to page 186 in our prayer books, Modeh Moda Ani.
Modeh Ani lefanecha, Melech Chai v'kayam, Shehechezata b'nishmati v'chemla, v'chemla, Rava emunatecha, Rava emunatecha, Modeh Ani lefanecha, Melech Chai v'kayam, Shehechezata b'nishmati v'chemla, v'chemla, Rava emunatecha, Rava emunatecha.
As we turn now to page 224, Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'alamal divrach cheruteh, v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael, b'hagala u'v'zman kariv, v'meru.
Amen. יהי שמך במבורך, לעולם ולעולם לעולמיה. יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויבהר ויתרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה וימרו אמן.
As we turn to page 226, please rise for Baruch Hu, our call to worship.
את אדוני המבורך.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvrei hoshech, osei shalom uvrei et hakol, ha'meir la'aretz b'ladarim arecha barachamim, uvtuvo mekadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit, ma'rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam b'chochma asita ha'al karetz kinyanecha. Tit barak Adonai Eloheinu, al sheva mitshehi yadecha, vilal me'or re'or asita, yifa arucha selah.
Or chadash ad Zion tahir, or chadash ad Zion tahir. Or chadash ad Zion tahir, or chadash ad Zion tahir. Benizke kulanu bimhera le'oro. Benizke kulanu bimhera le'oro. Or chadash ad Zion ta'ir, or chadash ad Zion ta'ir.
Baruch ata Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. Please join me on page 231. Love your neighbor as yourself, you said, and light-blinded we saw that inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries, your light moving before us. As we climbed, fell back, and climbed again, your sign of life. Ata Adonai Haboher Be'amo Yisrael Be'ahava.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך ובטבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. We continue on page 240 singing Mi Chamocha.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora tehilot oseh felet nora tehilot oseh felet Shir chadasha shibechu geulim לשמחה אספת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Sur Yisrael kuma be'ezrat Yisrael ufedechinu mecha Yehuda veYisrael Gohalenu Adonai Tzivaot Shemo Kadosh Yisrael Baruch Ata Adonai Ga'a Yisrael
Page 242.
Adonai Sifatai Tiftach Ufi Tehillatcha Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Konei Hakol, Ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, U'Mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem, Lema'an Shemo ve'Ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah rav lehoshia, Morid hatal, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata l'chayot ha'kol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol.
248.
Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, Kishem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, Kakatuv yad neviecha, V'kara ze el ze ve'amar,
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tsevaot, Meloch kol haaretz, Kevodo.
Adir Adirenu, Adonai Adonenu, Mahadir Shimcha b'chol haaretz,
Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo.
Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu, vehu Yashmienu, berachamav le'nei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem,
Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Yichzion, Ledor vador. Hallelujah.
Ledor vador nagid godelecha, ulenetzach netzachim krusharcha nagdish, v'shivchacha Eloheinu, mipinu lo yamush leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Amen.
To all generations we will declare your greatness. For all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We join together at the top of page 250 as we sing Yismechu.
Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, onei Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, onei Shabbat. Mekadeshei, Mekadeshei Shvi Shabbat, Kulam Yisbehu Meitan Gumitu Vecha Shabbat, Yismechu V'manechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat V'korei, Onei Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, onei Shabbat. Uvashvi'i ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat, chemdat yamim, oto karata Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, וקורא עונג שבת. זכר למעשה בראשית שבת. זכר למעשה בראשית שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת וקורא עונג שבת.
Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, ritzei v'imnuchatenu, kadeshenu b'mitzvotecha, votein halkenu b'toratecha, shabenu mituvecha, v'shamchenu b'shuatecha, v'teched libanei le'ovedecha be'emet, v'han Hilenu Adonai Eloheinu be'ahava uvritzion Shabbat kodshecha v'yanuchu va Yisrael mekadeshenu shamecha Baruch Ata Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. We continue on page 254. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ba'amha Yisrael utefilatam be'ahava tikabel uti liratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha el karov lechol korein penei el avodecha vechonenu shifach ruchacha aleinu. V'techezena einenu shabecha l'tzion barachamim. Baruch ata Adonai hamechazir shechechianu l'tzion. Please join me on page 257. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. Modim anachnu lach. For this fragile planet, Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons. Modim anachnu lach. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements. Modim anachnu lach. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression. Modim anachnu lach. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared. Modim anachnu lach. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom. Modim anachnu lach. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose. Modim anachnu lach. We pray that we may not live by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving.
Baruch atah Adonai, hato shimcha ucha na'el lehodot. As we continue now on page 258 with Sim Shalom, please feel free, join along in singing with us. And again, if you don't know the words, Lai Lai works very well.
Sim Shalom, Tova Uracham, Chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, ve'ako Yisrael amecha, barcheinu yotzreinu kulanu ke'echad, be'or
sim shalom, tova uracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, v'akol Yisrael, v'akol Yisrael amecha. Torah chayim v'ahavat chesed, v'ahavat chesed, tzedakah v'rachamim v'chayim v'shalom. Sim shalom, sim shalom, tova uracha, ein v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, v'akol Yisrael, v'akol Yisrael amecha. V'tov me'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שים שלום, שים שלום, טובה וברכה, אין בחסד ורחמים ורחמים עלינו, והכל ישראל, והכל ישראל עמך. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
We continue in silent meditation.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, והימרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, והימרו אמן. הוא עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, והימרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, והימרו אמן, והימרו אמן.
So, we have reached this part of our service now that is called Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service, the order for reading of Torah. Now, Torah comes from the first 5 books of the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, all collected into one scroll. And it has been written down the exact same way, the exact same letters and words and paragraphs for over 2,000 years. It hasn't been changed. And actually, one of the commandments is that you're not allowed to change anything in it. You can change how you look at it, how you interpret it, how you wrestle with it and are challenged by it, But you cannot change any of the words of Torah. And so why is it the order of reading of Torah? Because at the beginning of the year, which actually is going to be coming up fairly soon in the next month, we have Rosh Hashanah beginning, and then Yom Kippur, and then Sukkot and Simchat Torah, where we're going to start reading the Torah all over again. We read it in order. We start with Genesis, creation, right? It's a good place to start. And then work our way all the way through the reading of Torah in 1 year cycle. So that's why it's the order for reading of Torah. Because we are at the end of the year, we are in the final book called Devarim, Deuteronomy. And this week's Torah portion is called Ki Tetzei. Now, here's the wonderful part about this morning. This morning, Zachary is not only a student of Torah, but today, my friend, you are our teacher, which is pretty awesome. He is our teacher. He will be guiding us through Torah. He will be teaching us what these words that have been written down for over 2,000 years mean for us today. How do we take these words that were written down during ancient times and make them relevant in our world in the year 2017? Well, that's what Zachary has been studying. Zachary and I sat down. We got to read the words together. You read them with Grandma and Grandpa together, and you wrestled with them, and you asked some really important questions. And you make it come alive. And so that is truly our blessing today, is to have you share with us your understanding and your teachings of Torah. So what we're going to be doing in just a moment is we're going to be joining together in this Torah service. We're going to invite people to come forward who are going to be doing the blessings of Torah, who are going to be reading the English translation, so whatever is read in Hebrew, that you'll understand what's being read. And we're going to have a Torah holder and so forth. And so we're going to invite them to be participating throughout our service. And we're also going to take the Torah and we're going to march it around the congregation. Now the question is, why do we do that? It's called a hakafah. Well, hakafah is to march the Torah around the congregation. The reason why is because it's a reminder to us. Torah belongs to each and every one of us. It is all of our responsibilities to study it, to learn from it, to grow from it, and yes, to even challenge it. Never do we say, this is what it says, period, end of discussion. There's a lot of other things that we'll tell our kids, this is the end of discussion. This is not one of them. This is where we get to really wrestle with it. And so when we march through the congregation, and Zachary is going to be holding the Torah scroll, and he's going to be marching through, it's that reminder that we're bringing Torah la'am, to the people, to all of us. And also, you might notice that some people will take their prayer books or their tzitzit and they'll touch the Torah. We don't worship Torah. Rather, it's a way of showing respect to Torah and that wonderful reminder that it's ours. It belongs to all of us. Also, after our hakafah, I'll invite anybody who wants to come forward to see the Torah scroll up close and personal and talk a little bit about how it is written. So don't be shy. I'll invite you all to come up and you can see it. And then we'll read some Torah. So with that, are you ready for this? You get to stay right there still. Let us all begin with this wonderful Torah service on page 362.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein k'ma'asecha. מלכותך מלכות כל עמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom.
It is my honor to call forward. For opening our ark doors are going to be Stephen Gilbert and Phyllis Fisher. If you'll come join me right here. And then who's going to be holding the Torah cover and the Torah binder are Susan and Richard Guilford. You're going to just stay right there for right now. I'm going to bring it down to you, and then we'll exchange it later. And then passing Torah from generation to generation. Zeph and Beth, if the two of you will come stand right here. Zachary, will you please come join your grandparents as we get to share in that passing of Torah from generation to generation? And if the two of you will please come open our ark doors, and if everyone will please rise.
Av harachamim hetiv avitzoncha et Zion tivnei chomot Yerushalayim tivnei chomot Yerushalayim ki lecha levad batzachlu melech elam v'nisa Adon olamim.
In this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it.
Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, udevar Adonai mirushalayim.
Page 366.
Baruch shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo. Gadol Adonai Iti Uneromema Shemo Yachdav.
It has been the tradition from generation to generation to pass the Torah scroll to each. This Torah, though, is extremely special. This Torah scroll is over 275 years old. This Torah scroll was rescued from Czechoslovakia at the time of the Holocaust, when, unfortunately, the Nazis wanted to see the Jewish people destroyed. However, we are far from destroyed. Am Yisrael Chai, the people of Israel live. This Torah scroll, like so many others, were then shared with congregations like ours, to be reminded, yes, of our tragic history, but also to be reminded that it is our responsibilities to continue, to move forward from day to day, to always live and to always embrace our traditions and who we are. So, Zeph and Beth, the two of you, you take this scroll and you hold it in your arms. You have learned from it. You have grown from it. You have read from it, and it is a part of you and a part of your family. Today, on this amazing Shabbat, you give this most precious gift to this most precious boy, now this young man. Zachary, here you go. Hold. We're just going to turn it like that. There you are. Hold on to it tight. Remember that its weight should always keep you grounded in who you are and where you come from. But it should also lift you up, always inspiring you as you inspire us. Let's walk in the light of Torah.
Lecha Adonai hagidula v'hagivura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz lecha Adonai הממלכה והמתנשא לכל ראש שלושה דברים העולם עומד. שלושה דברים, שלושה דברים, שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. שלושה דברים, שלושה דברים, שלושה דברים העולם עומד. שלושה דברים, שלושה דברים, שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים.
If you would like to come forward and see the Torah up close, feel free, come on up. If not, you're welcome to be seated, but don't be shy. Come on up. Zach would love to have his friends up here, absolutely. And his that's okay. That's good. Oh, why? Like what? Good job. All right. Come on up. Don't be shy. I don't bite hard. Come, gather around. There we go. All right. Yeah. So, exactly. We're going to talk all about it. You got it. So, first of all, because it's a scroll, we have to bind it together, because if we don't, it's really unwieldy. So, all of our B'nai Mitzvah students, they make their own Torah binder. So, Zachary made his Torah binder. I know. There you go. Good job. All right, Richard, this is for you to hold on to, my friend. Thank you very much. Awesome. So, the Torah. Here we go. Sue, you want to hold on to that side right there? And if you want to hold on to right over here, go ahead. Come closer. It's okay. Not a problem. So, the Torah scroll is made from parchment, and parchment comes from a kosher animal. A kosher animal is, anybody want to guess what's the kosher animal? Come on, Jack, go for it.
Goat.
A goat is a kosher animal. What characteristics of the goat make it kosher?
I'm actually not sure.
That's okay. Anybody remember?
Something about the feet.
Come here. Come on in here. Here you go. In fact, check this out. Here you go. Up there. There you go. Now you can see. Awesome. Hi. All right, so it has to do with split hooves and chew its cud. All right, so a goat has split hooves and chew its cud. Chewing its cud is a type of digestion. We're not going to get into it because you all want to have lunch later. There you go. I'll tell you later. But the split hooves piece, so like a pig has split hooves, but it doesn't chew its cud. So that's why pork is not kosher. A camel chews its cud, but it actually has feet. Those are toes. So that's what makes a kosher animal. And so this parchment comes from a kosher animal. What's really cool is you can kind of see the coloration of the animal, because that's where it came from. Now, a Torah scroll is all handwritten. A scribe will sit down with still a quill, a feather, and ink. Now, the ink is made of all natural ingredients as well. So things like berries and sap and all sorts of different natural ingredients that are mixed together. They are boiled, they're cooled and boiled and cooled. It takes about a year to make some ink. And the reason why it takes so long is because we want it to be permanent. We want that ink to last. As I mentioned, that scroll that we carried through the congregation is 275 years old. And we can still read it. However, there's some repair that needs to be done to that Torah scroll, which we're hoping to actually do very soon. But you can still read from a 275-year-old scroll. This scroll is not quite as old. This is our newest scroll called Torah Sholom, where we as a congregation actually helped write it. Where the scribe sat there with us, and we held the quill, and he held our hand and guided our writing, because my handwriting's not that good. So now, what gives the ink that shiny kind of luster to it is the final ingredient. Do you guys have any idea what that final ingredient is? Yes, it is. It's honey. Good job. So honey is the final ingredient, which reminds us that Torah should be as sweet as honey. And so, but we're definitely not going to lick the Torah scroll. Darn it. Yeah, I know. There you go. Okay. Now, as you can see, the Torah is also, it's done in pages. And then they're sewn together. And this is sinew that's sewn together there. And so a Torah scribe, when he or she is writing a Torah scroll, has to do it perfectly. Cannot make any mistakes. If they make a mistake, then they have to try to scrape off the letter and then redo the letter. If they can't fix it, do you know what they have to do with that page? Yep, start all over with it. Exactly. So it's really a bummer. This is the last letter of that page. If you make a mistake here, it's like, oh no. The other thing is, so I'm using this. This is called a yad. Any idea why this is called a yad? What's this look like? Yeah, it's a hand. Very good. That's what yad means, actually. It means hand. So this hand here, this is our pointer. So when you're reading, you know how you follow along with your finger? Well, if I followed along with my finger, the oil in my fingers would mix with the ink, and then that would break it down. So we use our yad. And so this is actually Zachary's yad that he also made. Yeah, with his name on it, Yosef Natan. Yeah, different beads and everything. Yeah. Pretty cool. Maybe he'll show it to everybody else later. We'll see. Now, the other part with the Torah scroll is that what's your name? I'm sorry? Ava. So Ava. So here's what we're going to look at. You ready? So you see those lines that are etched into the Torah scroll there? Okay. So when you write, we write on lined paper, right? So we can write straight. Well, if you look really, really closely at the letters here. Let's see if we can, here, this is really good. See how the letters here with the lines, are the letters hanging from the line or are they sitting on it? Yeah, they're hanging. Very good, Ava. Thank you. So they're hanging from the line, which there's a story, there's a midrash that says that line is a representation of heaven and earth, that division. And the idea of the letters hanging from that line is that connection between earth and heaven and us too, that we're always reaching a little bit to be a little bit more divine, a little bit more godlike. Finally, what's really cool with the Torah is that somebody over here said something about it. What's not in the Torah? No vowels, no punctuation, none of that. There are no A's, E's, I's, O's, or U's, which are little dots or dashes that are at the top of the letters or at the sides of the letters or below the letters, and there's no punctuation. So that means that there's no vowels in here. If I gave you something to read in English that had no vowels, you'd be able to read it because you know the language. But with Hebrew, when the Jews were dispersed to all different countries and started speaking different languages, we unfortunately lost our Hebrew. And so in order to make sure that we read it correctly, a vowel system was created, and that's kind of like what we see in the prayer book. Here are those little dots and dashes on the side there. So we created that to make sure that we read the words correctly. Because if I change the vowels of a word, I can change the meaning of a word. So we want to make sure that we read it correctly, so we'll study with pointed text, with the text with the vowels, but then when we get to Torah, there are no vowels, no punctuation, my friend. You've got this. Zachary has been studying this, and Beth has been studying this. Anybody who reads from Torah studies it for a while. But also the great news is there's always a gabbai, which is Cantor Reinwald. He'll stand there with a pointed text. So if we make a mistake or if we get lost or confused, not a problem. Cantor will then remind us what we need to do and what we need to say. Questions? Answers? No? All right, well, thank you very, very much. Ava, thank you so much for your help. You all may return over to your seats. Gentlemen, you were all the way in the back. Do you want to see up close really quick? Yeah, there you go, because you were all the way back there. There you go. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. So, as we mentioned, there we go. Perfect. As we mentioned, the Torah, during our Torah service, we're going to have multiple people who are going to be, sit down, don't go there yet. We'll get you, we promise. We're going to have different people who are going to be participating in our Torah service with the blessings and also readings. So Cantor, if you will, please.
For our first aliyah, chanting the blessing, Eric Shanfield, Avram Nachum ben Ze'ev Vechana Basha, and Terry Ellen Marr, Toba Elka Bat Natan Ve'ita. Reading from the Torah, and Beth Shanfield, Chana Basha Bat Natan Ve'ita. And reading the English translation, Zeph Shanfield, Ze'ev ben Yosef Vilea. Ya'amdu l'aliyah harishona.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Lo ta'ashok sakir, oni vevion, me'achecha o migercha, asher bartzaka bisharecha. Biyumo titain sikaru, velo tavo, alav hashemesh ki oni, hu velav, hu nose et nafsho, velo yikra alecha, el Adonai v'haya Vecha chet, lo yimtu avot al banim uvanim, lo yimtu al avot ish bacheto yumatu.
You shall not abuse a needy and destitute laborer, whether a fellow countryman or a stranger in one of your communities of your land. You must pay him his wages on the same day before the sun sets, for he is needy and urgently dependent on it. Else he will cry to Adonai against you, and you will incur guilt. Parents shall not put to death for children, nor children be put to death for parents. A person shall be put to death only for his own crime.
Beth, if you'll take my tzitzi 1 second here. Cantor will show you the last word, or do you remember where that was? There you go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
For our second aliyah, chanting the blessing, Andrew Muson, Yechezkel ben Yisrael v'Sidoni, and Kathy Gilbert, Chaya bat Shmuel v'Chaya. Reading from the Torah will be Zachary, and reading our English translation, Randy Higgins, Rachel Surah bat Avraham v'Sarah. Ya'amdu l'aliyah hashenit.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Atah Hamara Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher B'chabanu Mikol Ha'amim V'nitan Lanu Es Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Lo tatem mishpat ger yatom velo tachavo beged omana v'zacharta ki eved hayita b'mitzrayim vayivdecha Adonai Elohecha misham. Al kain anohi mitzavecha la'asot et hadavar hazeh ki tiksor kitzercha basadecha v'shachachta omer basadeh lo tashuv L'chachtom, lager, layatom, vela almana, yihiyeh. L'ma'an yivarechecha Adonai Elohecha, bechol ma'aseh yadecha.
You shall not subvert the rights of the stranger or the fatherless. You shall not take a woman's cloak in pawn. Remember that you were a slave in Egypt, and that Adonai your God redeemed you from there. Therefore, do I enjoin you to observe this commandment. When you reap the harvest of your field and overlook a sheaf in the field, do not turn to retrieve it. It shall go to the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, in order that Adonai, your God, may bless you in all your undertakings.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'toshenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Thank you.
For our third aliyah, chanting the blessing, Zeph Shanfield, Ze'ev ben Yosef V'Leah, and Ann Beth Shanfield, Chana Basha Bat Natan Ve'ita. Reading from Torah will be Zachary, and reading the English translation, Eric Shanfield, Avram Nachum ben Ze'ev V'Chana Basha. Ya'amdu l'aliyah hashlishit.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher B'chabanu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Zetecha lo tifaer acharecha lager layatom vela almana yihiyeh ki tivsor karmecha lo teolel acharecha lager layatom vela almana yihiyeh v'zachartam ki eved hayita be'eretz Mitzrayim al kain anohi mitzavecha la'asot et hadavar hazeh.
When you beat down the fruit of your olive trees, do not go over them again. That shall go to the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow. Always remember that you were a slave in the land of Egypt. Therefore do I enjoin you to observe this commandment.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'hayei olam nata b'tukenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Stay right here. Eric Yashikoach, I'm going to invite you to go back over to your seat. Zach, I'd like you to go back over to your seat, please. And the reason why is because Zachary and also Beth were the appointed helpers, so to say, to help people fulfill the commandment for reading of Torah. So we're all commanded to read from Torah, and especially those of you who came forward, you could see how challenging that can be. So in order to fulfill the mitzvah of reading Torah, if you do the blessing for it, and then you appoint somebody else as your agent, they can read it for you. Well, Beth and Zachary were those agents and helped others to fulfill that mitzvah. So that's also why we did not call Zachary before. You heard we called everybody else with their Hebrew names. We didn't call Zachary with his yet because we really wanted the first time that we call Zachary to Torah as a bar mitzvah with his Hebrew name to be very special. That's also why we sent him back to his seat. He's not in timeout. He's in preparation. He's in preparation for this wonderful moment that he has been waiting for so long.
Ya'amod habachur habar mitzvah Yosef Natan ben Avraham v'Shulamit me'era l'aliyah haTorah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek baderech b'tzeitechem mimitzrayim asher karcha baderech v'yisnei becha kol hanecheshalim acharecha v'ata ayef v'yagea v'lo yarei Elohim v'haya b'chaniyach Adonai Elohecha lecha mikol oy Vecha misaviv ba'aretz asher Adonai Elohecha natan lecha nachala lirishta timcha et zecher amalek mituvecha mitachat hashamayim lo tishchach. Remember what Amalek did to you on your journey. After you left Egypt, how undeterred by fear of God, he surprised you on the march when you were famished and weary, and cut down all the stragglers in your rear. Therefore, when Adonai your God grants you safety from all your enemies around you, in the land that Adonai your God is giving you as a hereditary portion, you shall blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven. Do not forget. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach. Mazel tov. The two of you may return your seats. Mazel tov. Mwah. You're welcome. Mazel tov. We take a moment with the Torah before us to offer a blessing of Mishaberach, a blessing of healing for all of those in our lives, in our families, our friends, our community, and our world who are in need of healing. We also turn our thoughts to those who are in need of healing in Houston and all places throughout our world where tragedy has hit, that they too should find comfort in words of prayer and knowing that so many of us are thinking of them and sending them our prayers, thoughts, and any other ways that we are able to support them. So for this prayer of healing, I invite you to think about those in your own heart who you would like to be offering this prayer for. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. It is my honor to call forward, holding our Torah, Barry Perlman, if you will come on up and have a seat with us, and also Susan and Richard, if the two of you will bring up the Torah cover and the Torah binder, as we will in a moment dress our Torah scroll. And so we'll go ahead, and Barry, I'll invite you to have a seat in the middle seat right over here. Perfect. You can stay standing for just a moment. We'll invite everyone to please stand as we give honor to the Torah.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה לה Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar bin ve'im tovim v'ratzav v'divreichem chane'emarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah Uv'Moshe avdo Uv'Yisrael amo Uv'Invi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek Roni akara lo yalada piti rina v'tzachali lo chala ki rabim b'nei shomema mi b'nei be'ula amar Adonai charchivi mikom ocholei viriot mishkenotayich utehi yatu al tachshohi ha'arechi mitarai v'yatatai chazeki. Shout, O barren one, you who bore no child. Shout aloud for joy, you who did not travail. For the children of the wife forlorn shall outnumber those of the espoused, said Adonai. Enlarge the site of your tent, extend the size of your dwelling. Do not stint. Lengthen the ropes and drive the pegs firm, for you shall spread out to the right and the left. Your offspring shall dispossess nations, and shall the people in the desolate towns. Fear not, you shall not be shamed. Do not cringe, you shall not be disgraced. For you shall forget the reproach of your youth, and remember no more the shame of your widowhood. For God who made you will espouse you. God's name is Adonai of hosts. The Holy One of Israel will redeem you. Adonai is called God of all earth. Adonai has called you back as a wife forlorn and forsaken. Can one cast off the wife of his youth, said your God. For a little while I forsook you, but with vast love I will bring you back. In slight anger for a moment I hid my face from you, but with kindness everlasting I will take you back in love, said Adonai your Redeemer. For this to me is like the waters of Noah, as I swore that the waters of Noah nevermore would flood the earth. So I swear that I will not be angry with you or rebuke you. For the mountains may move and the hills be shaken, but my loyalty shall never move from you, nor my covenant of friendship be taken, said Adonai who takes you back in love. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sor kol haolamim tzadik bechol hadorot ha'el hane'eman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'medaber u'mekayeh shechem unato emet v'tzedek al haTorah ve'al havodah ve'al havivim V'la yom Shabbat hazeh Shenatatalanu Adonai Eloheinu L'kedusha v'limrucha lechavod u'tifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu Anachnu modim lach u'mevarchim otah Yitbarak shimcha b'fi kol hai tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. Yasher koach. There you go. Whew. Beautiful. So it is now our time to return our Torah to the Ark as we turn in our prayer books to page 374, and I'd like to invite everyone to please rise.
הודו על הארץ ושמיים, וירם קרן לעמו, תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל עם קרובו. הללויה, הללויה. כי לכך טוב נתתי לכם, תורתי אל תעזובו. עץ חיים היא, למחזיקים בה, ותומכיה מאושר. דרכיה דרכי נועם, וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה. חדש חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו כקדם.
72 commandments in one Torah portion, and not all of them are appropriate at bar mitzvah service. Especially the ones about how you handle a defiant child. Thank goodness I was not born during Torah times, otherwise I would have been dead by 3 years old. So let's focus on something else from this week's Torah portion. Have you noticed that people often don't stand up for others when they are in need? Have you personally stood up for someone? Maybe you saw someone who was hurt or hungry or being bullied. If we go back in time, we can see that there are many instances where very few people have stood up for the Jews. When Hitler started killing Jews, few people stood up for them. When the Romans invaded the Holy Land, they bullied the Israelites as though they were little kids. The Israelites tried to stand up for themselves, but couldn't. When the Egyptians enslaved the Jews, they made them work day and night, often doing things they didn't want to do themselves. But one person named Moses said to Pharaoh, "Let my people go." When Moses was traveling through the desert with the Israelites, who had just been freed from slavery in Egypt, there was a king named Amalek. Amalek was not very kind and especially did not like strangers. He went after the Israelites and especially focused on attacking the stragglers in the rear. He would kill Jews randomly and torture them. This week's Torah portion reminds the Israelites to never forget what Amalek tried to do to them, that they are always to remember that it was God who granted them safety from all of their enemies. While it also says, blot out the memory of Amalek, we are taught to never let someone try to destroy the Israelite or Jewish people again, as Amalek tried to do. And for that matter, never let anyone try to do what Amalek did to the Israelites. No one should ever try to destroy another people. I am troubled by the words, God grants you safety from your enemies. What about Hitler? God didn't grant us safety from Hitler when more than 6 million Jews were killed during World War II. When Hitler was killing all of the Jews, nobody stood up for them. Even the U.S. didn't stand up for the Jews in Europe. The Allies could have at least bombed the railroad tracks, transporting Jews and others to concentration camps like Auschwitz, hence preventing more people being killed. I would suggest that the way God granted us safety was by creating a homeland for the Jewish people so that we might always live in safety. Amalek, Hitler, and others like them were bullies. Today there are still bullies in the world. In my life, I am very fortunate to not experience much bullying, but there are times when I'm challenged to stand up for what is right. For example, one of my friends got into an argument with another friend over a toy getting broken. This wasn't easy for me because I was friends with both of them, but I knew I was doing the right thing. In middle school, there are always conflicts between friends and other students. Even in class, people can be dramatic. Sometimes people try to expose what's wrong with you because they can't handle what's right about you. And yes, there are times when I've not always stood up for what was right. And I regret those decisions when I think back about them. It's important to know that we should always stand up for what is right, regardless of who's committing the wrong. And to know it's not about what we have or even what we've accomplished. It's about who we've lifted up, who we've made better. It's about what we've given back. That leads right into my mitzvah project, which is like a service project. I like to cook, so mitzvah meals seemed like a great opportunity to give back. Did you know that many of Orange County's families go hungry each day? I bet you thought Orange County was a rich county with little homelessness. Not true. There are many homeless here, and about 1 out of 6 families don't go to bed with a full stomach. Every Sunday, Temple Beth Sholom does mitzvah meals and has volunteers to sort donated food, cook nutritious meals, and deliver food to the hungry. Orange County Rescue Mission, Isaiah House, and Southwest Community Center are some of the places where the food is delivered. One Sunday when I volunteered for mitzvah meals, we prepared over 350 meals in just 2.5 hours. Once I served meals with my grandparents at Southwest Community Center. There were about 100 people who were happy to have a good Sunday dinner. I realized just how fortunate I was to have food and shelter when many of these people did not. As kids, we sometimes don't know what is right or wrong. There have been many instances where we choose wrong over right. As we get older, we get a little wiser. It's good when an adult can help us through decisions, but then again, it's also nice to make your own decisions. This is what it means to become a bar mitzvah. I need to learn to stand up for doing the right thing, even when I know it might not always be the popular thing. How do you know if something is right or wrong? In my opinion, one way would be to look at the golden rule. Be nice to others, and they will be nice to you. Now that I have become a bar mitzvah, I know that in the Jewish community I am responsible for my ritual life, and it's time to take on more responsibilities of knowing what is right. It's important to me because I get special adult privileges. It's also about the honor that you get during a bar mitzvah. After a bar mitzvah, you get a better feeling of what's right and wrong, too. That can later help you in life situations like friend fights and quarrels with other people. Are you getting hungry? Me too. But there's just a bit more of this service, so hang in there. There are many people I have to thank for making this day special for me. First, I want to thank Rabbi Heidi Cohen, who helped me understand what becoming a bar mitzvah is all about. She also helped me understand this difficult Torah portion, Cantor David Reinwald. Thank you for helping me learn the Torah and Haftarah portions and all of that chanting. Your jokes made our sessions fun. Carl Bendroff, my Hebrew tutor for the past 3 years, was a fabulous teacher and friend. He knew just how to get me working on Hebrew with his humorous anecdotes. To all of you here, thank you for coming to my bar mitzvah service and helping me celebrate this special day in my life. Finally, to my grandparents/parents, I'd like to thank you for raising me to become the best person I can be. I'd like to say the things you've done for me and the places you've taken me have made me the person I am today. Oh, and one more thing. Grandparents are awesome. They're the toast of the town. Life wouldn't happen if grandparents weren't around.
You did it. You made me cry. But you also did the most awesome stuff.
Didn't you say you would give me something if I made you cry?
That's later. Zachary, there is an old Yiddish expression that translates to, man plans, God laughs. Believe me, there is no way I would ever have thought that I would be standing here today speaking to another bar mitzvah. True, Grandpa and I always wanted 3 kids, but not 20 years apart. We had our plans for our careers and retirement, Then you came into our lives, and we were thrilled with our new role as grandparents. Yeah. That changed when you were 6 months old and you came to live with us. Since then, we've had an incredible journey. Most parts wonderful, some not so much. We won't talk about that. But man plans, God laughs. It is said that it takes a village to raise a child. In your case, there are at least 3. First is our friends and family. So many have come through for us in good times and in times of need. Sometimes just when we needed a break, someone would step forward and do something special with you. The second village is Temple Beth Sholom. We've been members for over 30 years, but you started here with Tot Shabbat as an infant. Then it was on to Rachel and Ann Solinger's Mommy and Me class. From there, you attended preschool, religious school, and Hebrew classes. You could not ask for a more nurturing, spiritual environment. Not to mention all the friends you've made along the way. Just this summer, when you were in Avodah, a combination of counselor in training and camper at Camp Sholom, you learned that you enjoyed working with the younger campers. I heard that you were both kind and caring. You discovered that you liked being in a leadership role. I hope that you will continue to pursue being a leader. Stop laughing. Finally, there's our Oak Ridge Private School Village. We could not ask for a better place for you to learn and grow, from junior kindergarten till now in middle school. In fact, you are so bonded to this school that you invited every teacher you had that is still there, plus other staff. And there are many here today to help you celebrate. You've made many friends there as well, and Grandpa and I have made some new friends too. Take a look around. Everybody here came today to celebrate you. These are the people who care about you. You are an amazing young man. You persevere when the going gets tough, and you are resilient. Most of all, I admire your intellect, your sense of humor, not counting all the puns I hear. Thank you very much, Mr. L. Your curiosity, your love of learning, and all your hugs. No one can make a pineapple banana smoothie quite like you. I also think you are an amazing, handsome, and fun kind of kid. I'm allowed to heap on the praise because I'm the grandma. I get bragging rights. You are a special young man who has many talents and interests. Others know you as a special friend. I know that you will go far in life. Let your Jewish heritage remain with you always. And be a guiding light as you face life's wonders and challenges. You worked so hard for this day, for many years. But remember, this is not the end of your Jewish education. I know you will want to continue to confirmation and high school classes with Rabbi Cohen and Cantor Reinwald. I know you will continue learning for the rest of your life. I wish for you a life filled with wonder, good health, happiness, and much love. Whatever your passion, follow it. Remember Tikkun Olam, healing the world, as one of your core values. You've already started down that path with Mitzvah meals, which is represented today by all these boxes and cans of things. Man plans, God laughs. But maybe there's not that much laughter. I wouldn't change much of the past 13 years or having you in our lives. You are loved so very much. Zachary came up with an idea when he was about 3. I think we'll do it now. Okay. He came up with the idea for a group hug. Your turn.
Zachary, it's unbelievable how proud we are of you today and what you've been able to accomplish. Zach, as a...
Mike.
What?
Mike.
Mike. Zach, as I mentioned in presenting you your talid earlier today, Jews connect their generations through a long and proud history. You know that names are important because they are the link that identifies these connections. Being Jewish, you are gifted with names in both English and Hebrew. Your Hebrew names are Yosef Natan, after two of your unique and amazing great-grandfathers, Joseph Shanfield and Nathan Peck. Joseph fought the Nazis as a soldier in the Polish army, while Nathan was an officer in the U.S. Navy. For your English name, your mother simply liked the name Zachary Jonathan. So that is what you have been called in English. But there is more to your English name that we only learned about 10 years ago. Grandma and I decided to go on a road trip to Poland, where I was born, and to the Ukraine, the part formerly in the Austro-Hungarian Empire from which Grandma's paternal side of the family emigrated in the 1920s. Being the internet researcher that she is, Grandma decided to go to the Russian website to research my family, most of whom died in the Holocaust before I was born. In fact, my parents, though not married to each other at the time, survived Auschwitz and married soon thereafter. I knew very little about my parents' life before the war. It wasn't something they talked about. What I did know was that my father and his first wife had a little boy. I could only guess that he perished in the Holocaust along with his mother. As Grandma went through hundreds of records, she found that little boy who died at the age of 4. His name is Zachary, the equivalent of Zachary. His name now lives in our family, and in some ways, this bar mitzvah is for him as well. Zachary actually means remembered by God. How appropriate this name is for you. Live your name well.
Well, thank you very much.
So, Zach, wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful stories to learn and yeah. And, well, today we get to celebrate this wonderful moment of you becoming a bar mitzvah with not only your family and your friends, but your community as well. And so we have some presentations for you. So I'd like to invite forward on behalf of our youth group and your classmates. You, by the way, are the first of your class. He has set the bar high. So I'd like to invite forward Jack Malo and Bryce Solinger, and also representing our sisterhood, Sunny Sandberg, our brotherhood, Norman Rosen, and our board of directors, Harvey Grossberg, and as Beth spoke about as well, representing our mitzvah meals, Cheryl Esco. Yeah, you come over here too. There you go. You come join Bryce. Okay, here you come right here. Mm-hmm. There we go. Here, gentlemen, come close and over. There.
Zachary, I'm happy to present to you the youth group gift, and I also have some special candy that I feel represents you. I know your very favorites are jelly beans, and I'm also including some Bean Boozled Jelly Bellies, since I know you love science and can experiment with these. Just be careful, though. There are some crazy flavors. We have been great friends since the beginning. According to my mom, we met as babies in our mommy and me class. I don't remember that very much, but I do remember the fun I had being in school with you from preschool and on. We always have fun together, being silly, playing video games, and just hanging out together. I know you are a friend I can count on, and that we'll be friends for a long time to come. Mazel tov, you did an awesome job today. And set a good example for you next week. I wish you all the best today and always. Here, take your candy.
No, I'm just gonna say no. Right here. Right here.
Yeah. Zach, I remember in kindergarten when we first met, we instantly became friends. I also remember last year when we went to go see the new Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movie. It was so much fun. And I'm so proud of you for becoming bar mitzvah. And on behalf of the TBS youth group, I'd like to give you a Havdalah candle. The Havdalah candle was lit on the last night of Shabbat. And so I give this to you so you can hold on to that light on this great day.
Zach for choosing Mitzvah meals as his project. So, thank you. I hope the skills you learn will go with you wherever you go. And Beth, you are a role model. Thank you.
On behalf of Sisterhood and this particular sister, Yasher Koach, Mazel Tov to you and to your family. I have had the privilege of getting to know you and sharing the love of sweetness as personified by the sweetness in the Kiddush cup that you'll have, that you'll use to remember the sweetness of Torah, to remember to stand up for, as you mentioned, for those who need standing up for. And something special that will be for me to mix that sweetness with some chocolate. Yasher Koach, Mazel Tov, and from Sisterhood, you are the future and the hope that we have, and we are so very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
Zach, it is just a joy watching the speed with which you're running to become an adult member of the community with all the joys and obligations pertaining thereof. You even seem to know what you're getting yourself into. On behalf of the Men's Club, we'd like to help you continue with the pathway of standing up for others, which is just such a wonderful bar mitzvah theme. Something that you're doing something about, not just talking about in your mitzvah meal workings. This is a tzedakah box, and it'll help you to continue with the theme that you've had of helping and standing up for others. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You were amazing. But that should surprise no one because you come from an amazing family. Okay.
Let's go in your direction.
Zachary, you are intelligent, you are funny, reliable, a hard worker, and a deep thinker. And I have to tell you, all of that came through today. We can see all of that. Your grandparents have been members of this community for over 30 years, as they said. And I personally thank you for letting me be part of this ceremony. It's been an honor. And I hope you scanned the congregation and see the smiles on everyone's faces and how proud they are. You did a great job. Okay. Zachary, I have actually 4 gifts for you. The first gift is your own prayer book, Mishkan Nefesh, which you used today. The second gift is in here, which is your bar mitzvah certificate, along with a certificate representing a tree that has been planted in Israel in your honor. Okay. Now, do you know what day your tree is going to be watered?
Thursday.
Very good. So listen, every Thursday, think about that tree is getting nourishment, it's growing, and it's reaching new heights. I have every confidence, and the congregation has every confidence that you will be growing through nourishment and reaching new heights. You did just a tremendous job. Your final gift is that you are a member of a community and a congregation that will always love you. Zachary, once again, to you and your family, congratulations. You did a wonderful job, and Beth Sholom and your friends and the entire community is so proud of you. Congratulations.
Okay, that just makes me nervous because I know I'd be the one to knock it down. So, have you taken a moment to take it all in and to look at everybody? Yeah. Yeah? Especially now everything's done, so this is good. All these wonderful people are here to not only experience this wonderful Shabbat morning with you and to be able to celebrate Shabbat with you, but to especially bless you. And so I invite everyone that throughout the day and the days ahead, take Zachary aside. Offer him your blessing. Everybody has that wonderful opportunity and the ability to bless. So give him whatever words there are that you would like to share with him about who you hope that he will continue to be and will become, and also the blessings that you've already been in their lives. At this time, though, it is my honor, and Beth and Zeph, will you come forward with us, please? It's my honor to also share my blessing and Cantor's blessing that we get to take you before the Ark and before the Torah scrolls and to bestow blessings that have been passed on from generation to generation to generation, and who knows, someday to the next generation as well. So we ask everybody to please rise. How you feeling now? Good. Yeah. Good. Lex, there you go. How awesome to be standing here in front of the Torah scrolls and before your family and your friends and to be in this place with us. Cantor and I are so proud of you, of all that you have accomplished and everything that you are yet to accomplish. Zachary, we look into your eyes and we not only see a past and history and stories of where you came from, but also we can look into your eyes and we can see a little bit into the future. And what we see is hope. This week's parasha, as you so beautifully taught us and reminded us, is that we can never remain indifferent. We can never just be quiet when we see that there is wrong, that there is somebody who is not treating another with respect and with dignity, that we can never be quiet when we see injustice in our world. Last night, we had the honor of being able to share a story together, the story of Martin Luther King Jr. and Abraham Joshua Heschel. And the story is so interesting because it weaves together their history, which is so similar. Both of them, victims of persecution, of inequality, and wanting to fight for what is right. Both of them knowing that we are all as good as anybody. Zachary, you are as good as anybody. You are as good as you want to be. You are as good as you can be. Life will not always be easy. There will be challenges. You've already experienced some in just these 13 years. But you know what? There will be other types of challenges throughout your life. I have all the confidence in the world that you will step up to those challenges. You will accept them. You will work through them, you will wrestle with them, and then you will find the blessings of them as well, and they will make you a better person for who you are and all that you are yet to do. You are as good as anyone. You can do anything, and you, my friend, can become anything. But the most important thing that Cantor and I hope that you will become is a young man who will know that he can change the world for the better just by being you. Zachary, continue to be the best person that you are. Continue to honor and respect and treat everyone with dignity. Remember to bring shalom to people's lives, wholeness and completeness. And remember that you stand in the same place where generations before you have stood, before the Torah, before the Ark of the Covenant, to be able to say, I am a part of this. You are interwoven. in these words, in these stories, in this history. And we look forward to seeing what it is that you are going to write on your own parchment of your heart as we get to bless you now with words that go from generation to generation, as I invite your grandparents to also place their arms on you as well, and we get to bestow you with words of Torah.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and watch over you.
Yaher Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine on you, in you, and through you, and may God be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yaseim lecha shalom.
Zachary Jonathan, Yosef Natan, may you always know that you are a blessing, not just to God, but to all of us. May God's light always be there with you and countenance shining with you. And may you have a life that is filled with good health, with happiness, but most important of all, a life that is filled with shalom. Kein yehi ratzon, may this be God's will, and let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Mazel tov. So we turn now in our prayer books once again with Aleinu L'Shabeach, our closing blessings on page, here we go, 586.
Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
As we remain standing and our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us, come on down here and join me here. Our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us in body, but in spirit they always will be. We remember those who have recently departed: Sid Jacobs, Marion Kanselbaum, Sandra Skurnick, David Weisenberg, and Michael Tesler. We remember those also whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of their passing, we recall on this Shabbat and during this coming week. Bessie Aronson, Panina Bergman, Eileen Bischoff, David Borove, Ralph Braverman, Joseph H. Browerman, Abraham I. Shea, Muriel Frank, Samuel V. Glickson, Stacy Johnson, Arthur Joselle, Sarah Clavat, Seymour Crom, Mira Langer, Bruce Levine, Louis Lipschultz, Abraham Merko, Florence Perlman, Philip Pomerantz, Joseph Rakow, Ralph Reel, Glenn Rosen, Joseph Schechter, Shirley Schnee, Max Schneider, Clara Seidman, George Soslavsky, and Ralph Zwain, and the Munich 11. If there is anyone here who's in the period of mourning of Shiva, Shloshim, or Shana, the first week, the first month, or the first year of losing a loved one, or if you are saying Kaddish for a loved one whose name I have not called, I invite you as I face in your direction, please share their names with us. For all of them and for all those who have given their lives al Kiddush Hashem for the sanctification of God's holy name, and for all those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we turn now in our prayer books to page 598, as we join together and we recite Kaddish Yatom, our mourner's Kaddish. Yit Kadal, Vit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Bialma Divrach Hirte, V'yamlich Malchute, B'chayechon Uv'yomechon Uv'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala V'zman Kariv V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevorach Le'elam Olamei Almaya, Yitbarach V'ishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar V'yitale V'yitalal Shemei D'Kudesha B'richu, Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram bi'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us say together, Amen. So in just a moment, I know you're excited. It's good. Nope, not yet. We're going to, after our closing song, we're going to join together in the living room, which is off to your left there, for Motzi and Kiddush in honor of Zach becoming a bar mitzvah. To our students at Temple Beth Sholom, please remember the black box is on the shelf with your cards in there. Please make sure to get your card and just go ahead and give it to me afterwards. And I will take care of that for you guys. So with that, Cantor, what is our closing song for today?
We have a special song by request. You'll find it in your books on page 649. This is Debbie Freeman's Tefillat Haderech, a blessing for the journey ahead. May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and joy. May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. Safety and in love. May grace and compassion find their way to every soul. May this be our blessing. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're going to just grab really fast, and then we're going to go do Motzi and Kiddush, okay? So, what's his name? Errol. Errol? Oh, Errol? Errol? Errol. There we go. Hi. So we'll do just a quick picture at the ark right now, and then we got to go do Kiddush and Motzi. Okay? Come here, Zach.
Couple.